Hey guys, so on the 21st of October 2015 is the day when Marty McFly arrives in the future. So I thought this would be a perfect time to review the second Back to the Future movie. I know I haven't even reviewed the first one, but I thought, yeah, let's review the second one, because no one else has done it. I thought may as well. Dude, you know how a lot of YouTubers are doing the exact same thing. Seriously. Really? Yeah, Jeremy Johns, the Schmoes, they're all doing it. Fuck! Alright, let's do a top 10 then. I'll do top 10 moments in the whole Back to the Future trilogy. Alright, so here we go. Jordan, Watch Mojo already did a top 10 on the Back to the Future trilogy. You even watched it! Top 5? No, you're good. So firstly, if you've liked my video so far, make sure you hit that like button in this video. It helps me out so much. And of course, if you haven't seen any of my videos and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you on board. And one day, I'll review all 3 Back to the Future movies. I've always planned on it. Back to the Future movies are like some of my favourite movies of all time. I think they're excellent. This great cast, great moments. That's why I'm doing a top 5 moments of the Back to the Future trilogy. Obviously, before we begin, spoiler alert, this is a top 5 of the Back to the Future trilogy. I'm going to be spoiling so much about it. So, yeah. If you haven't seen any of the Back to the Futures, really? You gotta watch them. So obviously, there's some honorable mentions because there's so many good moments. Like, I mean, so many good moments. So first honorable mention is We Don't Need Roads. That bit at the end of the first movie, Marty had just gone back to his time, meets up with Jennifer, although all his timelines now changed because of the events of the first movie, and no one, he doesn't seem to bother him. It doesn't seem to bother him at all that everything's different. All his family are completely different. It doesn't bother him, but hey, I'll let it get away with that because it was just an awesome moment. But the bit after where he meets up with Doc, he needs Marty to come with him as well as Jennifer because it's about their children. Something's got to be done about the kids. So they decide to go to the future, 2015. And what makes the moment so great is the whole backs the car up and then Marty's like, oh, Doc, you better back up. We don't have enough room to make 88. And Doc says, where we're going, we don't need roads. And then he puts the glasses down and then the DeLorean lifts off the ground, does a U-turn, and then just flies straight at the camera and goes to black. That scene is so awesome. I know all 3 movies were out before I was born, because I was born in 95. So all these movies were already out. But I didn't know much about them. So when I was younger and I watched them, like I watched the first one, obviously first. So when I saw the last bit and the car took off the ground, I didn't know that we're going to be all in the future and see all the hoverboards and flying cars and all that shit in the next movie. But just at that moment, seeing the car take off and fly at the camera, oh my god. And the other honourable mention is the train scene at the end of the 3rd movie. I love that train scene. The whole sequence is just great, where Doc and Marty are trying to get the DeLorean up to 88 because they don't have any power to speed up, so they put it in front of the train so it can just push it along, and it just keeps getting faster and faster. And then at the end, you got Clara rocks up on the train and Doc has to go back and save her, but then Doc almost falls and then Marty has the hoverboard, and I'll get to the hoverboard later, trust me. Marty gets the hoverboard, throws it back to Doc, and then gets on, takes Clara with him, and then Marty goes back to his time. I love that whole scene. It was done excellently. One of the best moments in the whole 3rd movie. So alright, so moving along to my top 5 moments. In the number 5 spot, we've got Buford Mad Dog Tannen. I loved the 3rd Back to the Future movie. As I know a lot of people have issues with it, but I really don't. I think it's a great movie, but mind you, I love all 3 movies. And this Buford Tannen is just a real arsehole. Him and his descendants are all dicks. But there's a duel at the end between Mad Dog Tannen and Marty McFly, or as he's known, is Clint Eastwood. Excellent. Then that final battle where, Marty doesn't want to fight. Of course he doesn't. He's going up against this psycho. And then Buford shoots Marty He's like, you were wrong. Marty goes down, but we know he's not dead. We know something's going to happen. And he walks right up to Marty. He just jumps straight up. Everyone's all shocked. Biff goes to punch Marty. He hits Marty, but he hurts his hand. And Marty reveals he's got this metal steel plate that was covering the stove earlier in the movie. And he just rips it off and just smack. Takes out Buford and then just few punches. That scene is just awesome. That bit's in my top 5 just because I just love that scene. I just love the old Wild West face-off and I just loved it. And then when he revealed the steel plate and then just smacked him across the face, I just love that scene so much. In the number 4 spot, we've got Hell Valley. Oh, sorry, Hill Valley, but look, it's called Hell Valley. That moment in the second movie when Marty goes back to his time after being in the future, and Marty was gonna bring that sports almanac he finds and bring it back with him, but Doc says, no, don't do it. So Marty chucks it, and then Biff just happens to be there. He grabs it, and then grabs the DeLorean and goes back to his younger self. Marty ends up going back to his own time, and it's just completely messed up. It's just run down, and Biff has got so much power now. He's super rich, and he's just fucking scary. And he's married to Lorraine. He killed George McFly. It's easily the darkest moment in the whole trilogy. And that whole time that Marty's back there, where it's just all bad, that was just awesome. Like, obviously not awesome, but I mean, just, it was so different to all the rest of Back to the Future. This was just a moment, it was just so dark for the trilogy, and it was just a wow moment. Just seeing how everything had changed. I love that bit right near the end of that where Marty is up on the top of the building with Biff, and he goes to shoot Marty, and Marty just drops off the roof and then comes back up with the DeLorean, and the DeLorean door opens up, hits Biff. That, I just love that. That whole alternate timeline was just awesome. So number 3 is the iconic moment from Back to the Future 2, the most popular moment from Back to the Future 2, I reckon, is the hoverboard chase. That whole 2015 time, you see all the cool shit, a lot of stuff that's actually here now. But obviously we don't have flying cars or bloody hoverboards. But you got stuff like when Marty goes to his future home, where future Marty's talking to Needles, and you see like the conference they're having, it's pretty much, we got Skype. We got all that online stuff now, so that works. When he was out in the town in the future, he sees like the Jaws thing, and they said about 3D and stuff. Well, we have 3D, we know that. There was a lot of cool shit in that future timeline. Growing up, Back to the Future 2 was probably my favourite just because of all the cool future shit. But like these days, I definitely like the Back to the Future 1 more. Back to the Future 2 is excellent though. But then when Marty grabs the thing off the girl, looks at that pink thing, looks it up, hoverboard. Oh my god, that moment. And then he gets on it, and just the whole hoverboard chase is just awesome. This is the scene that makes people just go, where's my hoverboard? And they waited for years. We still don't have a hoverboard, and it's fucking 2015. There's still a lot of cool shit, but I just want a hoverboard now. My number 2 moment is when George knocks the fuck out of Biff. That moment is just awesome. Marty accidentally messed some stuff up, where Marty's younger mother starts to fall for Marty. Uh-oh. So Marty has to try and get this super shy George to try and just win Lorraine. George already loves Lorraine, but she doesn't know it. And throughout the movie, he's trying to help George. So Marty decides what he can do is take Lorraine to this enchantment under the sea dance, and then when they're in the car, start making some moves on her, but be a bit forceful, and then like she'll start freaking out and stuff. And then George can come up and stand up to Calvin Klein. George goes and stands up to Marty at the car, but Marty's not in the car with Lorraine. Turns out it's Biff. Hey you, get your damn hands off her. That was a bad impression, I apologise for that. But then Biff gets out the car, oh shit. He's like, oh, beat it McFly. Pushes him over, and then he goes back to mess with Lorraine, and then suddenly George gets pissed off. Swack! Smacks him across the face, and Biff drops to the ground. Fucking awesome. I absolutely love that moment. It was so great to see George take Biff out, because throughout the movie we just hate Biff. We all hate Biff. Good actor though, don't get me wrong, but yeah, you hate Biff. So when George knocks him out, it's just excellent. It sucks that Crispin Glover wasn't in the second and third Back to the Future movies. I know he's not shown a whole heap in both movies anyway, but I mean, I still would have liked to seen him, but because he's a good actor, but that moment was just epic. It'll always be one of my favourite moments. But the number one moment has to be the clock tower strike. That bit near the end of the first movie where the lightning storm's happening and they need to try and get Marty back home. They know there's going to be lightning, and so lightning needs to hit the clock tower and Marty will speed up, get 88 in the DeLorean, and at the exact moment, lightning will hit the car and Marty will go back home. But that whole scene is just so suspenseful, just watching it like, oh my god, what's going to happen, what's going to happen? And then that moment where, like, thanks to that tree branch, the cord gets disconnected and you're like, oh fuck. And then Marty, the cars, he's speeding up, stock goes down the cord, connects the cord just in the moment the lightning hits, boom, Marty goes. That moment is just awesome. That whole scene is just, you're just watching it, just, you can't move, you're just watching it, just straight out of like, oh my god. That's how I feel watching that scene. Every time I watch it, and I've seen that movie plenty of times. And what makes it even better is at the end of the second movie, where they had that whole scene, because Marty has had to go back into the past and do all that shit again. And you see all like scenes from the first movie with this Marty in the background. And at the end of the movie, right after the other Marty had gone back through time, that's when Marty rocks up behind Doc. Doc's dancing around and he freaks out seeing Marty again. And he's like, I'm back from the future. Great Scott. And he passes out. I love that so much. That was just an epic moment. That whole clock tower lightning scene was just awesome. But there are so many good Back to the Future moments. Overall, I love all three movies so much. And I'll watch them anytime. I absolutely love them. I recommend the movie to everyone. They're easily my favourite time travel movies. If not, probably the best time travel movies in my opinion. So, have you seen the Back to the Future movies? What are some of your favourite moments? Whatever they are, give me your top 5 in the comment section below. So, of course, if you like my top 5, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to me if you like my video and you're not subscribed to me. And if you liked what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.